Speaking of action coming our way, tomorrow, CU Boulder is going to offer a rare glimpse into the photography of Dan Fong. Maybe you haven't heard of him. But Dan grew up here, and it was actually his cooking that opened the door for him to be close to some of the biggest bands and rock stars of the last 50-plus years.
Yes, cooking. Cooking gave him access, and then he used that to become a photographer of many legendary bands and events. Recently, while clearing out his mom's house, he came across some of that work that very few people have seen. He gave us a tour of the collection.
I've been here for like 17 years.
You never know which neighbor.
And when I first saw it, it kind of blew my mind.
In your neighborhood,
it was like it was made for me.
Has a story like no other. Until they invite you over.
Come on in.
Dan Fong's story can be seen on the shelves and hanging on the walls of his what could be called a rock and roll museum.
Actually, it is. I'll show you why. Because that up there is the Doobie Brothers sign I had made at a big party I gave them. I'm lucky that I've been able to be in the right place at the right time.
The right time and the right place for Fong? The early 70s in the kitchen.
Yeah, thank goodness I could cook. And that helped me a lot because then, after I did that, Barry hired me.
Legendary concert promoter Barry Fay gave Fong his big break, cooking for the Stones.
We even asked Jagger if he wanted to sit in a chair or sit on the ground. He wanted to sit on the ground. I cooked 13 courses, roast pig, roast duck, and they said it's one of the best meals that they've ever had.
From there, Fong was granted access to the stage where he began his career as a photographer for some of the biggest rock and roll bands at the time.
Found it.
The Who, the Doobie Brothers, the Grateful Dead.
My career started at the top, not at the bottom.
Fong gained the trust of the musicians, which gave him unique angles.
My photographs are mostly on stage or backstage.
While his photographs are amazing, his stories might even be better.
During that tour, Daltrey hit me in the head with his microphone stand. He used to swing it around, had one of those big iron bases, I was at the edge of the stage, except they hit my camera.
Now this 77-year-old moves a little slower, and as he looks back, he realizes he has a lot to share.
And I really needed to work on that archive before I kicked the bucket. I've got too much valuable photographs, historical photographs that are available. And not only that, it's basically, you get to see my life, what I saw.
Dan Fong.
That's my legacy.
One of those neighbors with one of those stories.
Such a rich life captured by our Tom Cole, who visited with him. Now, you do have a chance to go see some of Dan Fong's work because it'll be on display at the Mackey Auditorium in Boulder from 4 to 6 tomorrow. Dan himself, a graduate of CU back in 1970.